What if I told you that somewhere in football right now, grown adults in expensive suits are arguing over money so big you could probably buy a small country, or at least a striker worth £100 million who still somehow misses open goals? We're not talking about small change here. Not £1 million, not £10 million, but hundreds of millions of pounds. And the craziest part is, this fight isn't happening on the pitch. It's not about tactics, and it's not even about transfers. It's all about one brutal question: who should pay for the rest of football? Don't forget to subscribe to Money Behind Football for more update. Behind the scenes, there is a financial war building, and it involves massive figures like £600 million and an eye-watering £880 million. At the center of it all is something called the New Deal for football. Sounds friendly, almost like a handshake agreement, but in reality, it's one of the most intense money debates that sport have seen in years. This deal is supposed to send around £880 million over 6 years to support clubs in the lower divisions, the teams that don't have billionaire owners, global fan bases, or Champions League money flowing in every season. But here, where things get complicated, no one has agreed on who should actually pay this £880 million. Originally, the idea was simple: the Premier League, being the richest league in the world, would fund it. That sounds reasonable until clubs started looking closely at the numbers. Suddenly, the smiles disappeared and the arguments began. At the same time, another massive stream of money is flowing into football. This season alone, Premier League clubs playing in the Champions League are expected to earn over £600 million combined. Just think about that, £600 million from one competition. Clubs like Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham have each already made more than £80 million just for reaching the round of 16. They haven't even lifted the trophy yet, and they're already swimming in cash. So now, some mid-level Premier League clubs are raising a very uncomfortable question. Why should they be the ones paying into the £880 million deal, while the biggest clubs are making over £80 million each from European competitions? That question has sparked a new idea, one that could completely change how money flows through football. Instead of relying only on Premier League revenue, why not take a percentage from Champions League earnings? In simple terms, if a club is making huge money in Europe, say £80 million or more, they would contribute a small slice of that money to support the rest of the football pyramid. And suddenly, that £600 million pot becomes part of the conversation. What makes this idea even more interesting is that it's not new. In the Netherlands, for example, clubs already share their European earnings. Teams playing in European competitions give about 5% of their group stage prize money, around 3.75% in later stages, and up to 15% of their total European income to support lower divisions. So if a club earns big money, they share part of it. It's a system designed to keep the entire league structure stable. But not everyone in England is convinced. For the biggest clubs, this idea feels like a penalty for success. They invest heavily, build global brands, compete at the highest level, and then get told to give away part of the money they earned. From their perspective, that £80 million or £100 million is theirs. They worked for it, they risked for it, and they don't want to lose control over it. On the other hand, smaller Premier League clubs see things very differently. If the £880 million deal is funded only by Premier League revenue, then they end up carrying a heavier burden than the richest clubs. In a strange twist, they could be paying money that helps strengthen teams in lower divisions, teams that might one day get promoted and replace them. Imagine paying money to support your future competition. That's the reality they're facing. Now the situation has become a full-blown standoff. One side argues that football is a pyramid, and if the lower levels collapse financially, the entire system is at risk. The other side argues that success should be rewarded, not taxed. And just when it seems like the debate couldn't get any bigger, a new force steps in: the Independent Football Regulator. This government-backed body has been given the power to oversee financial stability in football and ensure fair distribution of money. Right now, they are reviewing the entire system, analyzing where the money comes from and where it goes. But here's the real twist: if clubs cannot reach an agreement, the regulator can step in and impose a solution. That means all this arguing over £600 million and £880 million could end with a decision that clubs didn't even choose themselves. So what we're seeing is more than just a financial disagreement. It's a turning point for football. It's about power, who controls the money. It's about fairness, who deserves the money. And it's about survival, because without proper funding, some lower league clubs could disappear entirely. And if that happens, the effects won't just stay in the lower divisions. The entire football pyramid, from grassroots to the elite level, could start to crack. That's why this debate matters so much. It's not just about £600 million or £880 million, it's about the future of the game. Right now, nothing has been decided, but one thing is certain, a major financial battle is coming. Clubs are preparing their arguments, choosing their sides, and getting ready for a fight that could reshape football forever. Because in today's game, the biggest battles aren't just about goals or trophies, they're about money, power, and control. And if you really want to understand modern football, you have to follow the money. And don't forget to subscribe to Money Behind Football for more update. Thanks for watching.